Welcome to Game Day Battle, where Cleveland sports news meets biased and outspoken opinion. Here with the GameDay Crew and another huge show. We got Brett back finally after a couple of weeks.
Hey, welcome back.
Had a birthday, and that was last week. Then 2 weeks ago, the Lake Erie Monsters were kicking off the season.
Yep.
How's that going?
So far, so good. We were the only winning team in Cleveland.
That's a very, very
We've
big
had a rough road trip. We've had one game at home, and then we went on a 7-game road trip, and it's been kind of rough for us so far. But Avalanche is doing pretty well, so as soon as we get some players from them and get called up, we'll be pretty good. All we got to do is, we've had 47 shots as our average on goal. That's pretty good for us. We're a fast team, so look out, Calder Cup. We're coming.
Ramon Torres back with us again.
Thanks for having me, man.
Looking good, man. And sport the same Browns jersey as last week.
No, this is a different one. This is actually
You are incorrect.
number 80.
Is that? Oh, it's
That's
number 80.
Winslow.
I'm sorry. So he's got a different
it's
jersey
not
on this week.
Yeah, it is Winslow.
It is Winslow.
Yeah, it is Winslow.
Well, they can't see that.
What does mine say?
Edwards. We gotta go. This is taken now.
All right. We're just showing that we've been down, man.
Who is that?
You were with the Browns when they sucked. Or wait, they still suck.
Trubisky, come on,
It
man.
is Trubisky there, no. Well, he's obviously not having the same type of numbers as Winslow.
I mean, you just can't buy a Cleveland jersey, period, that has a longer shelf life than, I'd say, 2 years.
Get your name on the back. They
That's
got
why I
some
also
customized
have
jerseys.
Jim Brown.
It's a winner.
Because, can't
See,
be traded.
I have one of my that has my last name on it. That's why I know it's good for years.
I doubt it.
No, you were a bust.
It's
Right
actually
on.
right on the table.
Awesome. And DST, you're going to have some fantasy up for us today?
Oh, yeah. Got some great pickups for you guys.
Nice.
Awesome. So that's all coming up today. I'm going to have a few picks from the Vegas odds. Have a lot of other talk at the Browns, some crazy stuff going on in the NFL. Brett Favre, that's coming up. So stick around. I want to start off with the Browns. The Browns, they still suck, but do we have a little spark of life? Maybe a little bit going on for us. Did Colt McCoy kind of look like he might be an NFL quarterback coming down?
Definitely. I think he looked good. As I said last show, I thought he was going to come out and play like a winner, which he's known to do. And he looked very good. He didn't look like that, that DeLone scared to throw the ball. He just went out there and he played his game.
Jake DeLonguen or the Penguin?
Yeah. He ran when he needed to run. He looked mobile. So we got like a best of both worlds, a little bit of taste of this and a taste of that. So
I definitely agree with you, Ramon. He definitely showed a lot of poise out there. I think he threw for 281 yards.
Nice.
1 touchdown, and both of his interceptions were off tipped passes.
Yeah, which
so they weren't bad reads, they weren't bad throws. He looked like he wanted to be out there, and he definitely showed that he's got something there that we could definitely mold around.
Yeah, and you mentioned the 281 yards and the touchdown. It's 1 touchdown, but that's exceptional for a quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, especially his very first game.
He's got the poise. He wanted to be out there. He actually looked like he wanted to win.
Yeah.
Like, he made the right calls. Even his audibles were pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah, there were definitely more pluses than minuses to take from him. A couple times, I think he didn't stay in the pocket long enough. He kind of gave up on it, even though he had time to stand and try to find the right read. But after seeing some of those hits that were going around, he was probably just like, once that clock goes off, I'm out of here.
That jersey was looking pretty dirty. He was on the ground a lot, so I can't blame him. And that's you mentioned he looked poised. He definitely looked professional, and he looked very smart out there. He didn't look like he was panicking. I remember so many times seeing Charlie Fry just see the blitz coming in and literally just look to the sky and throw. And he did that. One of his last throws here was in the end zone. He just threw it up in the air because there was a blitz coming in. I expected to see a little bit of that, being that he's not only in an NFL speed game now, but he's on a team that isn't as dominant as the team he was on before in college. So I really expected somebody to panic a lot. And you'd mentioned before about his first 2 preseason games.
Oh, they were terrible.
It was always horrible.
God awful.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's done a lot of work. Obviously, he's put the time in, and it seemed like he had an idea in his head that he just wasn't going to get flustered, and he didn't. And he looked strong the entire time. He was 23 for 33. That's
Really
pretty.
good.
That's strong.
It's good numbers.
Definitely.
Yeah, and he didn't have any help from the running game really. Peyton Hillis, who we all like, didn't do much.
He had a few breakaways. But it wasn't our number 100 yards then we're, you know.
Well, it's Pittsburgh D. They're no slouch. Well, you nailed it.
Yeah, 28-10, man.
Yeah, I think it's about time to talk about that.
You want to own it?
I mean, I called what I thought was, you know, what was in my head. So I thought 28-10 because I knew we had this rookie quarterback coming out there. He wasn't going to let him do much, like you said, but he did get to throw 33 times. But, come on, it's Pittsburgh. And like they said,
did you pay off to actually get that score?
Roethlisberger told me when we were at the bar with 3 18-year-olds.
So you paid him an underage girl? That's great.
You're the one he sends out to round him up. Huh? Look what I got for you, man. That's $1,000 a piece, right?
So that's definitely a pick that you should own. 28-10.
Yeah.
That was it, and you nailed it right on the money.
Yep.
Dale, you were close, but let me give you this.
Yeah, you were close.
Let me give you. You did say blowout.
I did.
Now, I don't think anybody watching that game would say blowout. Now, the fourth quarter, it started to get away from them, but. Blowout? I don't think so. You did get really close, though. 31-10. You nailed their score.
I'll take it.
10. So
Nice,
you said a touchdown, a field goal, and you were right on there. And which means you predicted McCoy scoring a touchdown, which he did. 31 points. That's not far off the 28 either.
I'll take it.
Definitely.
I think you were thinking more. It was going to be more of a Roethlisberger sort of.
He looked a little rusty when he came out there, and I was expecting that. But I think they had the first 2 drives. They probably had an opportunity to put up some points, and they didn't. Even a field goal would have helped me, but I felt I hit it pretty close. And I think 28-10 is definitely a blowout.
2 turnovers, 14 points, 28-10, and that was it. And so my score was way off. I'll stick to the first 3 quarters. If we can petition the league to play 3 quarters, I swear to you we'd be a championship team.
Hey, what's up, all you fantasy football fans? Welcome to another episode of DST's Fantasy Factor, where I break down all the week's fantasy news, help you find maybe a couple sleeper free agents to help fill you in on these bye weeks, or maybe if you're dealing with a couple of these big injuries that happen. Let's get those out of the way right now. Big injuries. Number 1, Dallas Clark. I know Indy's on a bye week, and they're going to have time to get some things figured out, but with Clark down and Austin Collie banged up, I really like Pierre Garçon after that huge game he had. Definitely try to grab him. Also, backup tight end Brady Eldridge is going to be stepping in for Dallas Clark. You know how much Peyton Manning loves his tight ends. So even in a PPR league, I would definitely look to stash Brady Eldridge if I had the extra roster spot. Also, just Deshaun Jackson out there in Philly, big concussion. He could be out 2, maybe 3 weeks. All Philly wide receivers stock is on the rise. I'm talking about Jeremy Maclin, Jason Avant. Definitely want to try to sign those big names, guys, if you can. Or maybe trades. Definitely a way to go, especially with this free agent pool starting to dry up here in Week 7. Also, third injury on the list, Malcolm Floyd. Man, if you had Malcolm Floyd, you've been smiling the past couple of weeks. I had the dissatisfaction of having to play against them, against that 13-ball, 250-yard, 2-touchdown performance. That hurts. Big news, though, Vincent Jackson, he's ending his holdout. He's going to show up and start earning his paycheck out there in San Diego. So Vincent Jackson's, a lot of people gave up on him. Maybe you can grab him in your free agent wire. If not, trade talks. That's the way to go, guys. All right, let's look at some free agents who are out there. Deion Branch, he was a big question mark last week, but 9 catches and 97 yards and a touchdown later. I definitely want Deion Branch on my squad, so definitely try to grab him. And we got our first fantasy question of the week. It comes from Superbad17, and he says, "Is it time for me to give up on Mike Sims Walker?" And my answer for you, Superbad, is yes. He's only got 2 touchdowns, averaging just 3 catches and 20 yards a game. Those aren't satisfying fantasy numbers. They got Mike Thomas out there in Jacksonville, who's definitely the number 1 guy. 33 catches, PPR league, Mike Thomas is definitely money. Look to grab him. Hey guys, I'm here for you. You have any fantasy questions, you can hit me up at dst@gamedaybattle.com for all your fantasy football questions. Hopefully I can help you guys get that W. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.
What's up, all my odds makers and odds breakers? It's Mike's Magic. I'm here to kind of help you sort through the Vegas odds. There's a lot of strange stuff out there, and it's really hard to get those games that you can put your money on and feel good about. Our goal here, always, to break the book, and that's what we're looking to do this week. Last week, we were 3-1, and you can't argue with those results. We're looking for 4-0 every week, but 3-1 I'll take. This week, I got a few games. I want to get right into the Browns and the Saints. The Saints are at a minus 13.5. Honestly, they're going to blow them away. I really think that it's going to be a big scoring game. We talked about it earlier in the show. So we're looking at 13.5 for the Saints at a minus 13.5. Go with it. Browns are going to be hurting after this game. So take the Saints. Raiders and Broncos. The number's 42. You got to go underneath that. Neither the Raiders or the Broncos really have a well-functioning offense. I think there's going to be a lot of struggle, a lot of problems. Take the under. I think it's a pretty sure thing. Eagles over the Titans. The Titans are at a minus 3, and I just think the Eagles are going to beat them. It's pretty much straight up. The Eagles are going to score quite a few points. I think it's going to be their week to kind of go off. They've got a lot to prove. They've got a lot to do. Titans have a tough defense, but don't worry about it. It's going to be good. Now, the other thing is Tampa over the Rams. Tampa's at minus 2.5, but I think they're going to beat them by probably like 7 to 10 points. It's a pretty sure bet, so go with it. So that's all I've got for you this week. And like I said, 3-1 last week. Just go with it. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at mike@gamedaybattle.com. Have a great one. Anyway, welcome back to Game Day Battle. We got just a little bit of time left, so we're going to give that ultimate guy salute, a raising of the beer to whoever you want. It could be anybody. It could be an idea. You could raise your beer to yourself. I don't give a crap. So I think since Brett, you've been away for a while, we're interested to hear who would you like to raise your beer to?
I'm going to raise my beer to Colt McCoy. It's a tough team to start against, but you did a pretty good job. Congrats on your first NFL start.
My raising of the beer goes to Roger Goodell for protecting the game and making everybody want to come back and see what we pay all this money for is these players on the field. So here's to you, Roger Goodell.
I raise my beer to Playboy Playmate and Brett Favre crush Jen Sturger. Just a feeble attempt to roll those beautiful photos again. You're welcome. Here's another one. God, you're hot. Just one more. You're welcome. Jen Sturger.
And there went that.
Well, I'd like to do my raising of the beer, and I know this is going to make me a bit of a homer. Thanks, Brett. I just said it was good to have you back, and I was so wrong about that. Did you have a birthday to go to or something?
No, it's over with.
Damn.
It was so last week.
I want to do my raising the beer to the Cleveland Cavaliers. On the way over here tonight, it's preseason. It doesn't matter, but it was just so nice. I got to hear the game all the way over here, and I got to hear names like Gibson and Jameson and Hickson doing stuff and just dominating a team. Not a very good team, but dominating a team, and it felt good. I didn't hear that other name at all. That guy. I didn't hear him at all. And that's really, really cool, and I really felt like, you know what, I almost felt like we got our team back. And, it's not going to be instantly like it was with Elo, and, there were some good days in there, but it's at least the foundation. We've got an owner that I think is really committed if he sticks around, and I think he's got one goal in his mind, and that is to get a championship before LeBron James. I love that in an owner, because we don't have that in any owner anywhere in Cleveland. Maybe the Lake Erie Monsters. I don't know that owner, but
Dan Gilbert.
Dan Gilbert is it. That's what I'm talking about.
Dan Gilbert.
Yeah, he owns.
He owns them.
Yeah, he owns the Lake Erie Monsters.
You know what? That's awesome. I just learned some good stuff tonight.
Every damn.
And you know what?
Team.
I think the Lake Erie Monsters are the only winning team in Cleveland right now, right?
Yeah.
So there you go, Dan Gilbert. That's who I'm going to do my raising the beer to. I got to give my beer to you.
Cast of the Monsters is the Dan Gilbert back.
Yeah, it doesn't matter at this point. Who cares? So I just want to say that I had a good time with you guys tonight. I hope there's no hard feelings.
Not at all. That was great.
All right,
great to be back.
Are we all?
Long time, man. I missed you.
No, apparently I drank everybody.
Everybody.